Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's NoAF here, and in this video I'm going to be going over Mikanko Libromancer decks. Like my current list, what I'm thinking of doing, and all that kind of stuff. So let's get into it. Let's talk some decks. This list is focused on setting up Barone, Ohime, and Intervention, right? But the main issue with this deck is that sometimes it just doesn't have enough end board. Sometimes 2 Omnis plus a Snatch Deal isn't enough. You can also end on IP as well, which is a little harder to do. We could definitely do better, that's what I'm saying. Next we're going to talk about is the Christia build that I showcased. This is basically just focused on setting up Christia and nothing else. It's basically just Christia Turbo. Of course you can have other things you can put on the board, but this is mainly Christia. Playing as little bricks as possible, playing no isold line. But yeah, this deck requires you to draw Ben 10 in order to combo. Yeah, we play 10 copies of Ben 10, which is a decent amount, especially in a 40 card deck, but that usually isn't enough, right? Where this deck excels at is being consistent-ish. You'll hardly see many bricks in your hand, and you can set up Christia. So this is an interesting strategy, especially what they did in the OCG, but my opinion doesn't hold a candle to what we have. In this list is more focused on setting up Christia, as well as going through our main isold combo, which allows us, instead of having to draw one Ben 10, can do it with drawing Ohime or Doombroker. So as long as we basically see a ritual in hand, we have full combo. Also, in all these lists, you don't have to play Pros. You can play Magician Souls plus Illusion of Chaos. Those are completely viable and fine. The reason I play is because I don't have Illusion of Chaos yet. Either way, like, they're pretty good. Like, they'll have their upsides and downsides. But Illusion of Chaos just has the most consistency, especially in the next list I'm going to show you guys. This is the list that everyone's talking about. Not really everyone, but what the majority of the Mikanko Libromancer players are talking about. Now, this list is very similar to the list that topped a regional. I know, not the biggest top, woohoo, but it's not like we have any big events happening right now anyways. That's besides the point. This list is probably my favorite list if I were to play. Yes, it's very based, but this list has a lot of utility packed into it. As well as, guess what? We can combo without a Libromancer name. We can still end on our end board minus the intervention, which is fine. So we can end on our end board minus intervention, which is still cracked, especially if we draw 0 Libro names. That means this deck can have similar consistency, if not even more consistent than the past strategies, which is absolutely crazy. I know it seemed that I might be hyping it up, but it's definitely something that's worth trying. And if you don't have the adventure engines, you can definitely go back to the other list. Just note that you will lose more to other things. Another pro the adventure engine has is that essentially all you need to see is adventure plus any extender, and you have full combo. It makes the deck super consistent, and if we see Illusion of Chaos, we can basically send our adventure stuff like Draco Bag and Fateful Adventure, draw 2. That's just stupid. That's just really dumb. We can also put back any brick, keep the ritual in hand in case we could draw a Libromancer name, which we can go even more off, which is crazy. Now we're going to talk about some other cards, right? So we have we're running 2 Agent. Why are we running 2 Agent? Well, the reason is Agents are a really good card to see in the hand. Getting a ritual in hand isn't really a problem. And so having the Agent allows us to have a warrior extender pretty much up whenever we have it. Either we have access to it through the field spell, or access through the fire, geek boy combo, whatever. But you don't really need to play 2. You can bump down 1 and play Gearfried. Remember in the combo that we add a second warrior, and that's the second warrior we add off from my soul days, either Gearfried or Agent. Agent's nice because it guarantees you follow up, but yeah. Now, another change to the list is we're playing 3 Arabesque. This card allows us to play through Imperman or Isolde, and allows us to play through a lot, since guaranteeing the Arabesque is really nice. It can definitely help us extend our own combos, and also break their board going second, so I think putting this to 3 is a must. Next, we're taking out Nini, because even Nini said in his video, is that card is trash. It kind of sucked. But yeah, like, Going second, you go Aberesque equipped to something special. Hare Grab Rondo, Grab Rondo equip, and then you essentially get rid of 2 monsters through 1 card, which is crazy. And you can also bounce back your own Lava Golem and Lava Golem again, clearing the entire way without having to use your normal summon Forest Killer Lava Golem, but you essentially just clear their whole board for free. It allows you to continue your own plays, and especially with the consistency of the strategy, it's not going to be a problem. Another pro this list has is that we can play more through Droll than we ever have. We actually have a line, although it's really niche. We still have a line to play around Droll. That is Griffin Rider plus Adventure. We just need to make the token, slap the Griffin Rider in field, and we have a way to out-Droll. At least we have a way. And we can't small world bridge into it, sadly, so you have to hard draw a Griffin Rider. But at least you have a funny way that you can out-Droll. So I'm going to take it. It's literally free. Also, another thing, if you have Rite of Aramesia and Graveyard, this can add back from the graveyard as well, so just keep that in mind. It doesn't target, so even if they Ishizu shuffle it, you can just add it from deck instead, which is fine, right? It doesn't really hurt. As for other ways to play around Droll, we essentially try to set up our regular plays as much as we can. We just don't go really into cross sheep unless you need to link something off. Okay, let's move on to the extra. 1 Elf, 1 Codebreaker, Virus Swordsman. Why are we playing 1 Virus Swordsman, 1 Ferocious Flame? In my opinion, you don't really need to play both, but you can play one of each. But the reason I'm playing both is because in certain situations, I want the Virus Swordsman. In certain situations, I want the Ferocious Flame. This card also can beat over Baguzka, so it's free. And you can play stuff like Donner, but this just does the similar thing as Donner, but tiny bit better. It can help you beat over stuff. It's big enough to beat over Toad. It's overall good card, but you do not have to place. Also, it's a warrior, so we can go into our Isolde line that way in main 2 or whatever. Helps you play around certain things, which I'm all for. Next, we're playing the 1 Isolde. I don't really need to explain that. Watch the combo video. And then 1 Cross Sheep, you know why. IP, Avramax, Unicorn. I'll just put Unicorn here. Unicorn's a really good card. 100% play. Access Gold. I wouldn't cut this for the life of me. It helps you play around back row since you can just slap it on field. Pop, 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 pop. And then go off from there and still gain a lot of attack. This helps you OTK, especially since we can link climb fairly easy. 1 Barone, you know why. If you don't have Barone, you don't have to play it. You can play another link instead. But you will have to limit the amount of plays. You can play Appaloosa instead. And that way, instead of making Cupid Pitch 3 and then going off with the Griffin Rider here to make Barone to search Dogger or whatever, you can essentially just use it for an Appomat and then still have a Savage intervention, right? So it's fine. 1 Entis, 2 Arclight. You can bump this up, but I don't really find space for it. 2's enough. If we're doggering, we're not really worried about follow-up. We're just praying that they don't attack us. Well, don't attack into anything small. But if you're also wondering like how to avoid battle damage, you can literally IP, link off Elf in itself or Avramax, and then now you just have a wall. And if they out Avramax, you get a spin it card. The Cupid Pitch line going to Dogra, I know you burn yourself for 6,000 damage, but it's too good you can't pass up. I'd rather burn myself for 6 and have a chance to win, rather burn myself for nothing and lose. That's kind of like the way you have to look at it. Also, most of the time, you don't really have to go into Dogra. It's only certain lines where you go into Isold, you go into Dogra. And burning yourself for that much is fine anyways. Unless you're going into time, then you just do the simple thing and side the thing out. But yeah, this list has been a total bunch of fun messing around with. The reason we play Small World because there's just everything. I would play like a Bestial for a bridge. I'd have to like see how I feel about it. But just know that you can play around with this list. Like it's super toolboxy. And in the end of the day, all you really need to do is just mess around and find something you like, right? But yeah, that's what I think. I think with all that being said, guys, I just want to thank each and every one of you for the support in the last video. And I hope that you guys will continue to support my videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.